I finished another presentation. This was a lunchtime presentation. In the morning I did the law piece, and then now I did one on HR analytics. So I guess some of it is a refresher for me, but some of it is looking at what is changing in law, what can we expect, what do we need to know when we're going out into our jobs. Because I do use my HR in my work, in my day-to-day work. And so when you're looking at analytics, I think what you have to remember is you have to remember what are the objectives of your organization. A lot of my past colleagues are surprised that Teleperformance has not called me back, but I'm not, because I told them, if you're going to call me back for another entry-level minimum wage paying $11.25 an hour or $17.50 an hour, don't call me. Because I want something that pays well. I want something with a day shift, and I want something where you're going to reward me, not punish me for improving the organization. So you need to, when you're looking at your analytics, I think your analytics have to paint a picture. They have to speak to your audience. There's no point collecting data and feeding it in and putting lots of pie charts and everything together if you are not telling a story. And basically what she walked us through, like me, the presenter had a lot of experience working in England, and people had a lot of questions on where do we start, how do we look for things. So she was just saying that there's a lot on the HRPA website. If you're looking like for a competency framework, I helped to contribute to that. It's something that was originally developed in 2014, and then it was upgraded recently. They chose new people to contribute to it. So you can look at that. You can look at what are the key things you need to measure for your organization. So she gave key points. If you're looking at recruitment, how much time does it take to recruit someone? How do you onboard them? Are people happy? Are you taking surveys to measure the time it's taking, the money it's taking? If you're looking at terminations, are you looking at why people are leaving? If you're looking at talent management, are you looking at how you're evaluating performance, and then from there who you're promoting and why and for what behaviors? So there's a lot that we looked at. I'm not going to go into everything because it was an hour and a half. But culture is an important piece of the organization. And culture is, if you think of an iceberg, what you see at the top is not everything. It's what's underneath the water that gives you your culture, how things get done. And what are you measuring in your organization? So when I worked on my contract, I worked at CIBC Mellon. I was responsible for doing the exit interviews and then tracking why people were leaving, what was driving the turnover. You can look at where people are going. Are they changing industry? Just because you start out in banking or healthcare or whatever, it doesn't mean you have to land up there. I have professors in South Africa who started teaching me, and they're entrepreneurs now. They're running their own companies. So you have to look at where people are leaving. Maybe people's interests have changed. Maybe it's not your organization. People don't always leave because of money. And also with your culture, like Teleperformance is, they don't want people to come and build careers. They expect a high turnover. So with me, I'm somewhat of an exception because they do call me back. But this time I just got tired. I'm like, you know what? You guys always bypass me for promotion. You bypass me for opportunities to train, to travel, to go overseas. So this time, don't call me back for minimum wage. So you really have to understand what is driving your organization. What values are you looking to promote? And I've worked on HR metrics where I've worked with HRIS systems. So I've worked with PeopleSoft. And from there you can pull the information. If you're using Excel or you're looking at other platforms, it's a little more complicated, because then you have to take Excel, extract the information, and then from there put together your presentations. If you have a good HRIS system, it does a lot of the work for you. And then you can just interview people and find out the core reasons they're leaving, or what's important to them, why are they staying with your organization, what is driving the performance that you're getting, is it things within your employees' control or not. So these are things that I have done in my career in Canada. I've done them in banking, I've done them at CIBC, HSBC, CIBC Mellon. They're important components that we do within the business. And also, what are you doing with the results? There's no point just doing HR analytics if you're not going to use it to improve things for your company, for your business. You don't track things for the sake of it. You're looking to take your data and do something with it, and to make things better for the company and the employee. And if you're looking for benchmarks, you can look at benchmarks from the HRPA website. There's a lot of information available on sites like Workopolis, where if you're looking for compensation, you can get benchmarks from there. For similar jobs, similar roles, what are people paying? If you're looking to compare apples to oranges, you might look at what HRPA is doing here and compare it to what the regulatory bodies are doing in America or doing in England. There are some things that are the same, there are some things that are different in terms of what is fairness, how do people evaluate it, what are you looking for. Even things like having celebrations, pizza lunches. Are people attending them? Are they valued in your organization? Some companies have online learning platforms that anybody can address. How many people are going on and using them? So these are all things that I've dealt with within my contract work. It sounds like a lot, and it is, but I was called in to do project execution and help with getting things done. So unfortunately for me, those short-term contracts took a toll on my health, and they didn't result in the stability I wanted or the financial income. And so for me, what's going to be important is finding an organization that will be able to accommodate me, where my work will be valued, where work-life balance is important. Not everybody wants that. Some people, like students, they want to work overnight because that works for their schedule and they can go and do their studies during the day. I mean, to be honest, if you're working overnight in a call center, you're likely going to go to sleep or watch movies or listen to music, because who calls you between midnight and 7 a.m.? The calls really start coming in between, I would say between 6:30 and 9, before people go to work, or they're getting up before they're addressing their family needs or whatever they need to do. So it's important to think about those things and to be able to track them. And she gave a very good presentation on analytics and data management. And also, when I gave that feedback on teleperformance, saying that, oh, we need to normalize the Indian accent, it's discrimination. So it's only the Indian accent. What about the Caribbean accent? What about the British accent? What about the African accent? It's only the Indians, right? That's the only accent you have to normalize. I mean, it's discrimination. But if you tell them that, they'll say, well, that's what the customer wants. So if that's what the customer wants, hire people in America. That will solve your problem. And make sure they speak the way the Americans speak. Don't hire people from India, from the Caribbean, from Africa, from Britain, because Americans are racist. They're saying they can't understand. So we live in a multicultural world. We live in a world where people have different accents. But for them, that's what you hear over and over and over. I can't understand you. So you have to tell them, okay, call back. We can disconnect the call, we can end the call, call back. And they're like, where are you? Are you in America? Like, no, I'm in Canada. Well, I want an American. Well, we don't have Americans here. Oh, what's wrong with your company? I want to speak to your supervisor now. Okay, I'll get some. Shut your mouth. Did you not hear what I said? I want to speak to a supervisor. Stop talking. That's how they talk to you. They don't know that they're speaking to a spiritual director, someone who holds the CHRP designation, the CHRL designation. People have MBAs. To them, you're the scum of the earth. You can't get any better job, so you're working in the call center. So that's how, those are just some of my experiences that I'm sharing with you. I'm surprised, actually, they took a lot of the jobs to South Africa, so they're not complaining about the South African accent. It's strange, because when I talk, my accent is mixed. A lot of people say that I have a British accent, but I tell them I'm from Zimbabwe. They trained us how to talk. So it's interesting how the bias comes in. And they don't even hide it. They put out big media statements saying that, oh, we will be using AI to bring in the normalizing of the Indian accent. I mean, it's ridiculous. They have big call centers in India, teleperformance. In fact, the reason that we got our shifts during COVID is because they had to close the Indian office because the pandemic was rampant. So they brought all those jobs from India here. If they hadn't brought those jobs here, many of us would have been laid off. So you need to think about what you're doing when you're doing your business planning, succession planning, how you're using analytics, what you're doing with the data. If you like working with data like me, you'll enjoy it. If you don't like it, then you won't enjoy it. But I think it's important in any business. People want to know the analytics. They want to know what's our turnover, who stayed with the company, who's loyal, who's leaving. And I mean, for me, they even asked me, Teleperformance asked me, how come you're not getting anything else? I said, I tried, I don't know. I have been applying internally, I've been applying externally. I'm not getting anything else, so I have to stay here. So that's how it goes. I'm not the only one that goes through this. You'll end up getting the best qualifications, doing the best job, your supervisors like you. You don't get those positions to come up. That's why the referrals are so important, and that's why doing a good job is important, as well as building your network, building your relationships. Because it could be somebody completely outside of your network that lands up helping you. It could be. I mean, my mother didn't like me putting all those hearts for Roger Federer, but Roger liked it. So, and besides which, I think I'm a lot older than him, so it's nothing really to be worried about. Roger liked it. His foundation liked it. Rafa, Novak, Andy, they all liked it. So, you have to be yourself. If you're not yourself, people can say all kinds of things. But anyway, I'm hoping something opens up for me. If not here in South Africa, I can go back. I don't mind. I'd really enjoy it if I went back. But I don't want to kill myself working overnight, working on jobs where there's no accommodation, where there's no room for financial stability, there's no option to come up. Don't go to school then. Don't do your master's, don't graduate, don't develop any skills. Then you can stay in minimum wage your whole life. I mean, retail jobs are paying $24 an hour. I applied for those also. Nothing. So that was the piece on HR analytics. If I can help you, let me know. I'm happy to help for a fee. Then I'm going to end this and I'm going to do my John Maxwell.